All right. Welcome in, everybody, to the long weekend edition of Daily Bread, coming at you live right at 11:05 on the East Coast, the number one spot to be taking a nice, relaxing weekend. Let Sosa and I do the capping for you, and you enjoy the beautiful holiday weekend. As usual, the show is powered and sponsored by the Wise Guys Diamond Club. Be sure to be tapping in with them there. We're live on Twitter and YouTube at Daily Bread Media. Give us that like, retweet, follow, and subscribe. Definitely helps us get out there. We appreciate all of you who retweet and subscribe to the show to help support us there. Jump over to YouTube with Barry, Top Croc, and the rest of the guys to be dropping your best plays. It's Saturday. Let us know what you're going for. No Honey Bear sighting today. I ain't watching her. Ruby sighting is always in the picture. And you already know what it is. Sosa had that solid day yesterday. We had Prop God on as well. So we appreciate all of you who tapped in. We got Trey Lance talk. I don't know if we're planning to talk football, but you never know by the end of the episode. You never know where we'll lie. But Sosa, how you doing? This Saturday's looking too good before this rain comes plowing into the Northeast here.
Oh, man, it's a fucking beautiful day, man. It's a beautiful day. Yesterday was cool. Today's getting even better. Shout out to the Dodgers. Also, fuck the Cardinals, bro. What a fuck off for the first five yesterday. Up 3-0, give up 3 in the bottom of the fifth. Unbelievably bad.
That's the Titans.
But the game is obviously you're fucking happy about it. I'm super surprised. But yeah, I mean, just another day, another dollar. A good day betting baseball. On to the next. We're gonna get some MLS plays. Obviously, it's a great weekend. Next few days, I mean, we're gonna have some days coming up here where we're not gonna have any baseball and sports are gonna be at a premium to gamble. But the game is the game, man. We're back at it. Gonna be a good Saturday. I have nothing but the utmost excitement for the weekend. I think it's a dog day. I woke up, looked at the lines, looked at the teams. I think that we're gonna have some very good value on dogs today. So yeah,
and Liga MX is on today too. If you don't want to bet MLS, you can bet Liga MX as well.
Mexican League Soccer, huh?
First match day weekend.
Gonna hit up my boy Mercenarios. You got me.
First match day weekend. I think we have Tigres and Cruz Azul playing against each other, so it's going to be a solid one.
Super excited about that one, let me tell you.
Might have a player too in Liga MX. I don't know. If the chat goes wild enough, maybe we'll drop it after MLS.
Lord. Super excited about that one.
So other than the NBA, just trade after trade after trade, do we want to talk about any trade in particular before we get rolling with the bets at the 5-minute mark?
Yeah, need KD in a Sixer uniform. That's where I stand.
All right, how about a trade that's happened? I'm not saying one that's yet to happen.
Oh, best trade yet? Probably Rudy Gobert. And I know people are going to think of this as crazy, or for the people that really don't know basketball, they're going to say bullshit like it's not a good trade. Rudy Gobert was hung out to dry by Utah the last 2 seasons because nobody on the fucking team played perimeter defense. But because they don't play perimeter defense and he has to mask everything they do defensively, the casual basketball fan didn't understand what the fuck they were seeing. They just thought that Rudy Gobert wasn't good. Rudy Gobert gets to go to a team that, one, was terribly defensively, that really needs a rim protector and a guy that can give him quality minutes in the paint. I also think that we watched every playoff team that just fucking won play a bunch of zone. We saw them play a bunch of zone in the playoffs, right? If you have an anchor big man in the middle like a Rudy Gobert, it gives you more ability to be multiple on defense, to run different things, to put other people in position to be successful defensively. They didn't give up McDaniels. They gave up Malik Beasley, Pat Beverly, and Jared Vanderbilt, who just started playing minutes last year, right? So you give up 3 players. Yep. They gave up 3 players who weren't even part of the direct future without giving up McDaniels, who outside of the core guys of Karl Anthony Towns and Edwards probably has the highest ceiling. So they got to keep him. They haven't made the playoffs. This is a push to maintain a team and to build. I like Rudy Gobert in Minnesota. I love it as far as what they want to do. Obviously, also, they won't have any spacing issues because Karl Anthony Towns wants to shoot threes anyway.
I was about to say, you move Cat to the floor, which just makes it seem more natural because you'll need him maybe getting that extra minutes getting beat up in the post because his post defense has been something quite lacking for most of his time. But it's
Pretty
kind of
fucking
more
bad.
of the Danny Ainge, like, he made a big trade. He got all these first round picks. Like, he always wins the deals and stuff like that, which is, like, I think the most BS narrative out there. Like, sure, the Nets fleece was sure the fleece, like, no doubt about that. But it's just funny how the narrative went instantly to Utah won the trade because Ainge was the guy there.
Like, what good is a draft pick if it's in the mid-20s? And if it's in the mid-20s, it means that Minnesota's winning ball games. I think that new ownership cares more about that than giving a fuck about them picks. I mean, Anthony Edwards is going to ascend next year. I'm already telling y'all he's an all-star. Y'all can book that. He's an all-star next year. Guarantee you that. I'll guarantee you that he makes an all-star team. No
last
question.
thing on the NBA in that trade before we get into the plays, because we can get right back into that at the end because I know the people are waiting to lock them in. We got the game starting in an hour. Any chance Utah cuts Pat Bev and he ends up in a Sixers uniform?
I do. And let me address
that's the one I want now.
Let me address what Jalen just asked. And you're absolutely right. But it's also because I'm a big Embiid guy, and Embiid would always shit on him. He'd always talk shit about Gobert, right? Understanding Gobert's value, you really have to look at the tape. You really have to look at how poor the guys around him were defensively to really give him a fair shake, because it looked so bad. People were automatically ready to just throw him under the bus. And I was ready to, because I thought, okay.
I'm still rolling over the bus on him. I'm not changed yet just because he's gone to Minnesota.
When the Clippers cooked him and it looked bad, Terrence Mann, I had to really go back and look. And I'm looking at the guys who played on that Utah team. And outside of Royce O'Neal, no one offered any level of resistance defensively.
Oh, don't get on the Royce O'Neal. Wendy might show up.
So like I said, I'm gonna just leave it at that. I think that the Malcolm. I also, just one last thing in regards to NBA, the Malcolm Brogdon trade I love. I've been talking about how Boston needs a point guard. I think he's a perfect fit. Was once 50, 40, 90. The only thing that's going to matter with Brogdon is, can he stay healthy? I think that Boston has to do a good job of load managing him and having him ready for the playoffs. But I do think they won. That's a big W for the Boston Celtics. I really do believe that.
Yep. Give us that like, retweet, subscribe. Let's get into today's plays. We'll go with the MLB and then into the MLS. We only got 2 MLS games, so we'll be focusing all on the MLB. So, yes. Sosa, what's the first game of the day that we will be starting off with? We have 2 doubleheaders, so we have extra baseball action today.
Hey man, my first play is in the Atlanta Braves Reds game. We're gonna count on the Atlanta Braves to stay hot. Team total over 5. You're getting it at close to even money. I got it at -102. It's currently at -104. Atlanta Braves team total over 5. They cashed this out yesterday, and their line was at over 6. At 5, I take it 100% of the time because I believe that we can get a push if all else fails. So I'm 100% with the Atlanta Braves team total over 5. It's my first play of the day today. Love the matchup of the lineup. People are overvaluing Male. Male against good lineups, not the guy. So that's where I'm at to start for the day.
All right. I think everybody in the chat might know where I'm going to be starting off today at. We're running it back from 5 days ago. The first half team total for the Rockies over 3.5. You can get that at -115 because you know who's on the mound for the Diamondbacks today in Coors? Dallas. It's a fake Keuchel day. You can go with the full game team total for the Rockies over 6.5 at -105 as well if you want to double up on it. I personally am. But this is just a spot where the Rockies, I think, were almost everybody's favorite play today or yesterday for some reason. But I think the Keuchel fade hasn't failed us yet. Let's do it in Coors today. 3.5 minus. What?
We talking fades today, huh?
You already know what it is.
You know who's coming next.
3.5 first 5, 6.5 full game. -115 for the first one, -105 for the second.
You already know we're on the fade train. We're gonna take this one to LA. We're going LA run line +136. We're fading you, Darvish, on the road. He does seem to pitch well against us, but I'm not worried. The lineup is cooking. And the Dodgers have been motivated for this particular series, especially after playing so fucking god awful against Colorado earlier in the week. The Dodgers lineup have come out focused. We've gotten decent pitching performances from two guys. I expect that to continue. Give me the Dodgers run line plus 136. If you're getting that, you have to take it. The money line holds very little value at minus 156, maybe a parlay piece. But if you're going to give me Trevor Anderson, who's been really good against the division, and just generally speaking, he hasn't been really roughed up that much. If you're going to give me Darvish on the road, it's been a fade spot. He's right there with Brubacher as far as a money machine for us. So we're rocking with the Dodgers today. Where are you at next?
You guys about to say, where's your player props at before we get to the hungry dogs?
My player prop, I'm probably going to go with John Birdie to get a stolen base. He had 2 last night. He's one of those guys that really likes to get them in bunches. But when I checked this morning, I was unable to find a line on him. He is the lead. He's been leading off now for the last 2 weeks for Florida. Once Florida has put him in the number one slot in the lineup, his stolen base numbers have actually dropped. But he had 2 last night, and like I said, when guys get stolen bases, they tend to get them in bunches because that usually means they're hitting the ball, getting on base, and that's one of their strengths. That's why Whit Merrifield for me was such an easy call yesterday. 1, he punishes Detroit. 2, he just gets on base against them, whether it's through walks. He's been walked by Detroit more than any team. If you're going to give me a leadoff hitter getting on first base, that makes it easier for him to get stolen bases. It's pretty simple. Let me get the odds on Bertie. I love Bertie today to get a stolen base, and I believe his number is going to be +2 something. He had 2 last night, so the number probably is going to drop a little bit. Yeah, he's not even. They don't even have this dude on it right now. He's not even on the card. Do you have one for him?
I can pull it up. I don't have stolen base props usually pulled up as one of the lines for the show.
Yeah, I can't find him on let me say, but that was my number one target for a player prop. Other than that, I'm probably going to take Judge to hit a dinger today. He's just due. You know what I'm saying? Once you go 5-6 with a guy like that, he doesn't hit one. Like I'm taking him over the weekend. I think Judge goes yard today.
Ooh, that's an interesting one right there. But I do like that. So I have 2 potential hungry dogs today on the diamond. 1 I've already locked in. I'm rolling with the White Sox on the money line at +127 because Sosa is on the mound today. You have 2 pitchers that both are supporting under a 0.5 ERA through the past 3 starts. Last night we had that 1-0 late inning win by the White Sox. I'm just expecting Webb to get beat up because at the home it kind of tends to happen more often than not. And 2 of his 2 last opponents at home were the Reds and the Royals. So I'm expecting that to show greatly here today. And Cease, I mean, as long as he's pulling up 8+ Ks, 10+ in the last 2, the Giants lineup's been a little bit undisciplined on this 2-5 skid. I got to take the White Sox on the money line at +127.
Let's get it. I'm 100%. He's betting against St. Fran. I had White Sox last night.
The other dog that I'm thinking about today, I just think this one could potentially get rained out. If it doesn't, I think it's a solid play because the Rangers got one last night. I wouldn't be surprised if they get another one here today with Perez on the mound.
Yeah, I'm staying away from that one. My dog of the day is going to be Tampa. I think Tampa comes out and I'm so accustomed to betting on Toronto on Saturdays, but I really do like. I really think.
I don't know, man. Tampa's in that skid right now.
I know. And I'm probably gonna bet one of these guys there for a stolen base today. I'm not sure who. It might be Merrifield. It might be Bobby Witt Jr. The Yankees, bro. You're paying so much tax to even bet on them. the juice is insane on everything. Minus 104 on the run line. That's tough. That's tough.
Both, because you got Cole and Nestor on the mound today. You have McKendry or something weird like that, and then Saval in the second game there. I think you just wait for the second game, as if anything here. And it's just the fact to go back to the Mets Rangers. Trevor Williams, he's had 6 starts so far this season, 2 at home. He's gone 9 innings and hasn't given up a run yet. Just think it's due. For some reason, Texas just has been playing the NL East pretty strong so far this season.
Yes, sir.
I'll stay off the Perez one there, but definitely the lean here because the rain could be coming at some point up in the New York area.
Yeah, I'm trying to look and really find a couple more spots without giving out all the VIP plays. I mean, Milwaukee, I mean, they're juiced to the 9s. You got a guy that's 1-5 and the other starter's 0-4. I mean, after winning 19-2 last night, like that's how do you cap that? How do you decide on who to pick in that one? One guy's 1-5, the other's 0-4. It's water finding its level is a strategy for both guys. You know what I mean? Like that's just a tough one for me. I'm tempted to run back the run line with Seattle, just because, man, the way they laid an egg last night against this Oakland team, I can't expect it to happen two nights in a row. And I think Blackburn had his best start of the year against the Yankees the other night. So it's a bit of a tricky game. I think I really love the plays that I've given so far. I'm going to kind of limit myself. Again, man, when it's baseball only, you don't want to overextend yourself, start betting on shit you're not familiar with.
He likes Boston. That was a tricky matchup for me to cap today. Kind of just stayed away from it.
Yeah, well, they tore the cover off the ball yesterday, so.
And then make sure to be tapped in with Delphi Sports, where we're running the Capper tournament there. Sosa and I are both members of that tournament, a pick per day. MLB supposedly only, but I have a case open against Jammer right now for Major League Soccer to be included. So tap back in tomorrow if you want to figure out how Rex versus whatever we want to call it goes. I sent my case today. We'll see how it goes off, because that's the only way to get into the MLS plays. Usually the Saturday slate is glorious, where we get the 8+ games a day. That comes tomorrow, and we got Monday as well. So you only got 2 matchups tonight. Not the best ones either. Both of them are going to be in Canada. So you have the Sounders, who's coming off that disappointing result for us, who lost 2-1 midweek. Now you got to travel out to Toronto, where they basically have them closed as a favorite. They has a pick 'em in the game overall. The books don't think either team's going to break 1 goal here, because you have both team totals sitting at the plus number. I got to take the Sounders over 1.5 at plus 115 to start it off at the 7:30 action. And then the 10 p.m. action with LAFC traveling to Vancouver. It seems like LAFC's bogey team is whenever they go to Vancouver. So if you want to be crazy and take them on the money line at plus 215, you can put a Taco Bell run, whatever you want to put lunch money on. Not a bad look there. They usually end up getting 2 goals when they host LAFC, especially with LAFC coming off that midweek match. My official plan, it's going to be the Vancouver team total over 1.5 at plus 135. So 2 team totals for your MLS, both at plus money. And yes, Andre, that is the only minus plays I have on the board today are fading Dallas.
Yes, sir.
All the rest is a plus money Saturday.
And that's why we're here. We're here for the plus money. You might get a couple plays. You might get me to tweet out a couple plays today if I feel like it. I don't usually tweet them out. That's why we make them watch the show. But what's up?
Yep. 5 plays for me on this Saturday. Couldn't find the 6 for a 6-pack. It was looking like a Liga MX play, but we'll stay off it. So we're rocking the Colorado first half and full game team total, the Hungry Dogs and the White Sox and Cease, and then the 2 MLS plays with the Seattle team total over 1.5 and the Vancouver team total over 1.5.
Yes, sir. Let's get it, and let's have a motherfucking day.
Yes, if you need those stolen base props, you already know where it's at. Make sure to be tapping into the Wise Guys Diamond Club. Sosa, 3 days away or 2 days away from the hot dogs.
Pause. But you're right.
But we out.